Are you a coach who's tired of drowning in complex marketing strategies? Welcome to Simple Client Attraction for Coaches, the bite sized podcast that transforms how women coaches attract their ideal clients without the complicated systems or endless marketing tasks. I'm your host, Sandra Fidelis, and each episode I bring you straight talking conversations with successful coaches and industry experts who share their most effective and simple client attraction strategies. Subscribe now and discover how to fill your practice with dream clients in less time than it takes to enjoy your morning coffee. And today we have Sarah Strackhouse, who is a seasoned journalist and entrepreneur. Since 2010, she's worked as a reporter, producer, anchor, videographer, and graphic designer for major networks, including Fox Business in NYC, the CW in Dallas, CBS, NBC, and Time Warner Cable stations nationwide. She currently hosts 2 digital TV shows and leads Strackhouse Media, a multimedia company specializing in media coaching, content creation, and event production. Sarah's going to share with us today how coaches can land free media coverage without a PR team. Welcome, Sarah.
Thank you so much for having me. And I know this is such a great topic because so many people are looking for that. And especially at the beginning, they don't have $10,000 to spend on a PR firm, at the beginning. So I'm excited to
Absolutely.
be here and, share any kind of knowledge I can share with your group.
And can you start with what do you feel is the biggest misconception people have about getting featured in the media?
Well, it's actually just that is that people assume that if you want to get some sort of PR or some sort of media that you have to spend thousands of dollars. You have to hire a pricey PR firm or you have to hire someone or a bureau or something like that. Or you have to have lots of followers or you have to have a famous name. It's really not like that. People can be creditable and not have that amount of money in their bank to be able to spend on that. They just have to provide value to the outlet, and the outlet is craving content. No matter
They need
where you
it.
are in the media, they really do. I remember as a reporter, every single day we had to come up with at least 3 stories. And half the time, most of them got shot down by the news director. So you always have to have a backup story for your backup. So, outlets want it.
Yeah, yeah. So that's a mindset shift, right? Like
Mhm.
don't look at it as you're bothering them, look at it as
Right.
they actually need content and you can provide it.
You're helping them.
Um, exactly. So what actually makes a media pitch get read and responded to?
Okay, so there's 3 main things is you want to make sure that your pitch is clear, timely, and tailored to the outlet. So let's talk about clear. Make sure it's short, concise, a punchy subject line. Each paragraph is punchy. You have your credentials in there, but you're not long winded. They don't want to hear all the details. They'll hear about it if they pick up the phone and call you. Just the punchy, the headline, and who cares? Why the audience cares. That was the biggest thing we were always asked. Our news director said, who cares? Why do they care?
Right.
Why does this audience care? So making sure that's clear and that's at the very top because a reporter doesn't have time to read the whole thing half the time. They want to hear it, be engaged, and then they'll continue. So that's the biggest thing, clear. The other thing is you want to make sure that it's timely. So the news cycle obviously goes with what people care about at the time. So if you are pitching something that you have seen in the local news, they're probably going to continue to cover it. They want to make sure they're covering it from all angles. That's a great way to be able to pitch yourself. The other thing is tailored. And one of the biggest things I was an oil and gas reporter in West Texas, and I was getting education pitches. I was getting health pitches. And don't get me wrong, sometimes I'd love to be able to pass them along to the education or health reporter, but a lot of times I was so busy, I was kind of just passing through. So make sure that if you're reaching out to a specific outlet or a reporter or a podcast host or a radio host or a publication, you're talking about what they want to talk about. So clear, timely, and tailored are the biggest things.
And would you suggest like actually reaching out directly to a
Oh,
reporter
always,
or a
always.
station like directly?
Yep. I mean, a lot of times, sometimes the reporters' emails might not be on there, but one of the biggest things that I used to always do was just find out what their info at, ours was CBS 7, so info at CBS 7, and you just try all the name variables, S Strackhouse, Sarah.Strackhouse, Sarah at CB, So you can always
Mhm.
try that, or there's also a lot of online, areas to find it, or you can pick up the phone, call the station, and find out. A lot of times, the podcast host might have a submit here. Reaching out to as many places, become a reporter, an investigative journalist yourself. Find that contact and keep reaching out. And then if someone doesn't respond within a few days and after it went through, move on. You can always send them another pitch, but don't keep sending the same one.
Okay, so I have two questions.
Yeah.
One is, what if you want to be on a bigger stage, like for example, be featured on a Today Show? Do you need to
Mhm.
start like in the local stations near where you live, or how does that work?
That would be your best bet. Is be A lot of times the Today Show or big shows like that, they want someone who is vetted, someone who has a number of media appearances, someone who they know is going to be comfortable and good on camera. They don't want a first timer who's going to claim up and be nervous because they're on the Today Show. So a lot of times you're going to want to start small, get bigger, get on top stations, get national, and then start pitching yourself to those shows. Because if you do have an amazing subject and for some reason they pick you up, you don't want to bomb it and not be called back because you're messing up your first media appearance. Hmm.
I've heard that it's kind of like a pay to play. You can pay like 10K and then you
Yeah.
can have, a number of media appearances. Maybe not in the news part, but maybe like a more entertainment part of what the station's doing. And how does that work?
So a lot of stations have those opportunities. They reach out to people that they might see are influencing the area. So if you're a coach in a certain area, they might reach out to you. It's a great opportunity to get media. You can use it for content later, but again, you're paying to play. If you're looking to
Right.
not pay, then these are the options. If you're looking to pay to play and you want to just get that media, you want to get the content, you want to get the credibility so that you can pitch and you have the money to do it, why not? A lot of stations, if they see that you're on those shows and they know what those shows are, they will know that you did pay to play. So just keep that in mind. But I don't see anything truly wrong with it if you have the money to do it. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with a big PR firm either. I've worked for a great one and I've known a lot of great ones. But if you're looking for something that's more budget friendly, then pitching yourself is the way to go.
Excellent. Okay. And that's great to know how to do it.
Yeah.
So what's one thing that the coaches who are listening could do this week to start getting visible through media?
So, like I said, when we talked about your pitch being tailored to the news, scan the local news, see where your voice could be heard. So if you're a healer in the in the veterinary world, let's say you're a coach who helps out authors, whatever it is, scan the media, see your local news if there's something that you could speak to, and then pick up the phone, send out a pitch. You can try and it can't hurt. The worst you could get is a no, and at that point you're exactly where you are right now. So scan the local news, scan some podcasts, see where you can fill in and say, hey, I just saw this podcast. It was a great podcast. I think I can add more expertise. Hey, I just saw this ran on your station. I think I can continue your story. And then XYZ. Show up, speak up, pitch.
Excellent. And what I'm hearing is value, right? Like,
Yes,
how can you add
value.
value to them?
And
So lead with
everyone
that.
can add value.
Excellent. Can you share with us how we can learn a little bit more about you, maybe get some goodies from you?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can visit my website, strackhousemedia.com, and then you can go to our services page. And there we have our media page where you can find, we actually have a course that breaks down all of these things: on camera presence, what to wear, how to speak, questions, and some live interaction as well. And we have that course that also includes public speaking and some other things. But you can actually, by hearing it from this podcast, you can use code Sandra for 50% off. And we'd love to give you a free consult and chat and learn more about you.
Excellent. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah. Thank
Now,
you.
one nugget, if you could give us one nugget to take away from this
Mhm.
conversation, what would that be?
Have the courage to pitch yourself because you are important. The media wants to hear from you, they need content. You are worth that pitch.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Sarah. I
Yeah.
hope to have you
Thank
back
you.
soon.
Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us on another episode of Simple Client Attraction for Coaches. I hope today's bite-sized strategies have given you practical ideas you can implement right away in your coaching business. If you'd like to watch the video of our interview, then head on over to simpleclientattractionforcoaches.com. It's the name of the podcast.com. Did you find value in today's episode? If so, please share it with other coaches in your network who could benefit from these straightforward, bite-sized strategies. And don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review us. Until next time, remember, client attraction doesn't have to be complicated. Small, consistent actions can lead to remarkable results. I'll see you on our next episode with more simple strategies to help your coaching business thrive.